So that's what it's like. It's perfect walking weather because the sun is so hot, but the clouds are around. Feeling pretty positive. The clouds are around. Had a pretty. I gotta stretch my calf. Yeah, that's what I don't do enough of. A warm up before I actually go for a traipse. I thought that was a snake before, but it's just a branch. We had pretty nerve-wracking experience trying to keep the chickens safe from the snake. We had a brown snake. We've only seen the green tree snakes, and they're quite large. They're a lot larger than a brown snake, but they don't bother anyone. They're literally like the kind of snakes that you'll ever meet. But the brown snake, we've never seen a brown snake. If it was a python, the other person would be like, "Oh, look at the python. Python's like my favorite snake." For some reason, they love pythons, but I'm not very keen on very many other snakes. But it was mostly looking. The snake was mostly. It was quite a kind snake. It ended up like being really speedy and moving really fast. But when I met it, it was, moving just quite slowly. Not the quickest it can move. When it was scrambling away later, it moved a lot faster. And that's when you realize they can actually strike at things really quickly. But it was relatively slow moving. I was sort of like guiding it away from the chickens for like 3 hours. It was hanging around. It got really excited because I think it was looking for mice, and there's a heap of mice around, and it got really excited once it was started to rummage around the chicken pen, because there's lots of little holes where mice hide, and mice were like escaping their dens and running around a little bit. While the snake was kind of stalking after the mice, before I realized there was a snake around, there was a mouse outside the chicken's night pen, which is, pretty protected. And it was sort of springing up, trying to jump up on it and around near the back. So I think that was like a telltale sign that there was a snake around without me realizing. Like, I looked at the mice and going, "Oh, look at the mouse, trying to jump up, and the back door is closed, not going to get in there." I sort of noticed it, but I didn't really think, "Oh my gosh, it's running from something." I actually approached because the chicken was going haywire and wouldn't get out of the chicken run when it seemed to want to. And so I had to encourage it to skip across to me with some claps and some support. And on the way there, I saw the mouse, and then the chicken came running towards me, and then I was looking around, checking to see if there was a snake, and I found the snake right away inside the pen near the food, and then it sort of, dug around a little bit and then slid out of it on the other side. And so I closed it in, kept the chickens away, moved the chickens to the night pen just in case it would come back. When it did come back, it went pretty close to the chicken pen, but then I came close, I had a little rake in my hand, and I was like, "Don't go near the chickens." And it just, it sort of stopped when it noticed that I was standing in front of it, and then it sort of moved away. I didn't know what kind of snake it was then, but from the pictures that I took and stuff, we figured it out. It's probably most likely a brown snake. It had a little brown head and the right kind of looking body. And just one of the deadliest, most venomous snakes in, in the country where you live, yeah, and the world, Top 3 venomous snakes worldwide. But it was actually a really kind little thing. It was a little timid of me and moved into the pen, looked around again, and went to the back of the pen. And there's about a bit of a backyard and found some holes to stick its head into. And then it snuck away to the other yard. The birds chased it, so it came back and was hiding in the side of the pen, which I blocked so the chickens wouldn't be rummaging wherever it was. They kept the chickens close to the gate. They were pretty scared and nerve-wracked, and we were feeding them little foods and keeping the dishes near them, and so that they didn't have to go inside the pen, and keeping them out of the pen and close to the gate so that we can just open it. Even if we're stuck on the other side of it, we can just open it and let them out. I kept the rake near the gate because sometimes if a snake's about to attack a chicken, I put the rake in front of the snake and be like, no, you can't attack this chicken. And then everything was fine. I mean, it ended up going away and didn't come back today. But as you can see from the explanation, it's been 6 minutes explaining what happened. Peewees. I think it's swooping me whenever I walk in this area. But they're so annoying. But they're really good alarm bell. Like if a snake's around, they'll be like, I know where the snake is, and I'm gonna chirp as loud as I can. But yeah, so that was a very tiring afternoon yesterday, and I got sunburnt as my chest is getting sunburnt. I ordered new sun cream because I wasn't sure if the old sun cream really has it to keep you protected for the summer. And as you can see, this is like the best snake zone ever. This is where snakes hide, in all these leaf litters. And you have to watch out for snakes when you're walking, because you might be like, what's that? Or it might just come out of the dry leaf litter and attack you. That could be a snake right there. It's not, it's a bat. So it is the right season for it. Snakes. I should probably wear knee-high boots, and then I'm like, not in this weather. Not in this weather. It wouldn't be a bad idea though, because they can't always bite through those tough boots. I'm wearing platform sneakers, and I've got a leather tote. So if I'm approached by a snake, I can be like, you can't touch me, I've got my leather tote in front of me. You can also just pick it up by the neck and chuck it into the bush where the tree is. But that's another story. Can I catch a snake? Yes. Can I always catch a snake? No. Sometimes you do need to just put something in front of you so that you're protected. So, but it's not the middle of the day. The middle of the day is where they get most active. It's getting towards the afternoon, so it should be a-okay. Not many brown snakes, especially in the afternoon. That's when they start getting the idea that hiding and going back into their burrows is a good idea. But as you can see, all this leaf litter, you could totally, it's like Horrorville. You could totally meet a snake amongst it. You're like, pretty terrifying. Like, just put that in black and white and be like, ooh, scary movie. But other than dealing with snakes, just general listlessness, I'm not officially working right now. So, but I did have a really good interview. If they come back and tell me, yes, we'd like you to work with us, I'd be like, awesome, because the payment sounds pretty good. They seem to think, yeah, I just really need a job to get by, but it's a pretty good job. But I think I don't think they do much leave or anything. Which means if I want to visit the city before the end of the year, but they might totally take Christmas off, like come the 20th of December, and that'd be nice. But I don't really want to work. Like, it's not really what I want to be doing. But especially if I'm going to be moving out and to fund me a little bit, I could work a bit. I'd probably rather a casual job whose hours I can kind of just slip back and slip forward. Like, I can do more hours some weeks and other weeks less. That's usually like my idealistic job, but it doesn't mean you get it. Generally, this job would be really good, but I don't know, I have other things on my mind, the things I could be doing in the future. So I'm like, I'll just tread water with it. If the other person wants me out, a job doesn't sound too bad. See how many things look like snakes? Idealistically, if I got a good in-office job in the city and just moved, I wouldn't need internet at home or expenses. I just need to pay for the rent and some food. Oh, look at that. What's happening? Not another fight. Sorry for the door. Are you friends of hers, guys? I should always take a piece of bread to be like, you don't have to be fighting. You just have this bread. And that might spur another fight. The magpies around here are quite vicious with one another. They haven't been swooping this year. But seen quite a few little magpie fights amongst magpies and other small birds. Yeah, very good. Don't like it when things fight. Anyway, I guess I took to turn off this camera and close to my destination. It was so smoky this morning. It was like you walk outside and it's like 100 packs of cigarettes. So we had something burning pretty close by, but it wasn't the fire. It wasn't like red. It's orange. Orange is almost a fire, but it was just smoky. If it was red, we'd probably see some flying embers. Just like literally like somewhere nearby. But all we saw was a lot of smoke, and you breathed it in, and you opened a window, and you had your 12 packs of cigarettes within a minute, and it's pretty thick. Not the entire worst, but it was one of the worst days ever with the smoke. But then it cleared up by the afternoon. But it seems like we're getting closer and closer towards a bushfire. So it seems like we're edging closer towards a bushfire, and if like literally everything could wick, but we'll see. I mean, we've got 4 months I think of bushfire season, so we'll see if anything comes of it. We've had a good 3-year run. We haven't met any tornadoes, any bushfires, just some storms and electricity. 1 year in particular, I was afraid that the electricity, the lightning, would hit the ground, wick it, and then everything would go flambe, but it didn't. It did do some damage, but not to our property. But we've had a really good run, because it's like serenity. It's like country is never this serene. When I try to live there by myself, and I would say it's been pretty easygoing, no real dramas, except for crossing this road, and that's good. But we're getting on the 4th year now. I would be very surprised if we go through another year and nothing happened. But that would be really good if we did go through another year and nothing happened, because I don't really want to meet a bushfire or a tornado or both at the same time. I don't really like to meet those things, and I don't really want to meet those things. But doesn't mean that you won't or you can't. So I would feel very lucky if I moved out, haven't met a single thing, and then I move out, and then all hell breaks loose. You know, you can have all the anything goes as long as I'm not here. That's happened before. Like sometimes it's just a few months, and the other person's like, hell broke loose. Look at these, they're pretty pink. Not your common red or yellow, but pink. I wonder if you can like take a branch and grow it or something. Take some of those nasty looking things and grow them. I should look it up. In comparison, as the red ones, we have a baby version that has never flowered on our property, of the red and the yellow, but we don't have pink, so I'll see what you need to propagate. I might pick something on the way home. Be like, I got a pink bottle brush cutting. Pink. Bright pink.